This is a production of PBS Charlotte.
Carolina Impact's Jeff Sonier has the story.
Yeah, Habitat's known for building new houses, but not everybody wants a new house. In fact, there's a lot of neighbors who are just looking for a way to stay in the house that they already have. There's debris on the floor, ladders blocking the door, but for Beulah Harris, you know, it's still home.
I've been staying here 50-some years. That's why I raised my children here. I raised all my children in a 2-bedroom home. I love it dearly. It's too much I done put in here.
Too much history here.
Yeah. And my girls will tell you, Mama, you ain't going anywhere. You ain't have to worry about me. They're working on the bathroom, my kitchen, and replacing my lights. And this is most of what I want.
You don't want to move.
I'm not going to move. No, I'm not going nowhere. I'm home.
This is a place where I feel at home.
But homes can mean hard choices if you're like Beulah, living alone on a fixed income with repairs you can't afford to make, on a house you can't afford to leave.
Or you may see a tarp on a roof from driving down a street, but you absolutely have no idea what's you're going to uncover once you get into some of these houses. And it's
Charles Monroe oversees Habitat's critical repair program, not building new homes, but instead fixing up these old homes, where needed repairs often come in bunches.
Exactly. A lot of people are making do with what they have. You know, ones without heat and air conditioning, that they're down to living in one room in the winter.
So we're going to tear it out and put a new beam in under it and restructure it on the sides.
The fix-up is mostly free, and so is the satisfaction for these Habitat workers. No handouts here, they're just providing a little help.
Oh, it's a huge thing. This is it was a big choice to come here, and I love what I do.
Usually our clients are people that are, a lot of them are elderly and sick, and you've got the home is kind of in the same shape.
This is a place where I don't feel alone.
You're pretty proud of your home now.
I love this house. I loved it before, and I love it even more now. I do.
Shirley Harrington Wright says the Habitat cruise took about 2 months to transform her home sweet home, the house that she's loved on and lived in for 21 years. Shirley takes us on a wheelchair tour of all the improvements.
This is the new water heater, and this is the new furnace.
Nice.
Yep, and the air conditioning unit is out on the side.
All the things she used to worry about.
The fence is wobbly, and the garage door didn't work. I had to lift it up and down, and things like that.
When the list gets long, it gets kind of overwhelming.
Yes. And see, you always think about the big stuff. Water heater, furnace, all of that. So every day or every month or every winter or whatever, you just hoping and praying. And that's true, and a lot of people are still in their homes, but they're living in deplorable conditions, and don't know what to do.
This is a place where I feel at home.
Yeah. Houses, they get old just like we do, don't they?
They do.
At Beverly Clark's house, the biggest Habitat improvement was replacing her original old bathtub.
So he came back in and looked, and he said, "How hard is it for you to get in and out of your tub?" I said, "You know exactly how hard it is."
With this new walk-in shower instead. That's kind of nice.
That's real nice.
There you go.
Like this. Isn't that easy?
Habitat making Beverly's house more livable. So at age 72, Beverly doesn't have to live anywhere else.
And that's what they did. This made it safer. And then the repairs made it affordable. I just went through the house and saw things that needed to be done. They came and made those major repairs and stuff. So I knew, they didn't just talk, they did the walk too.
This is a place where I don't feel alone.
Impatient. I still go outside in the back sometime and just look at it. It's quite humbling. It was overwhelming. And like I said, I felt like I hit the lottery. They're trying to help people stay in their homes. And they're helping people who have helped themselves. You know, that's what I see. They're helping people who have helped themselves.
Now, Habitat says that most of the neighbors who take advantage of the critical home repair program are senior citizens living alone, and most of the major repair projects are in excess of $30,000. Now, depending on your income, some neighbors pay nothing. Others pay a small percentage, usually around 5%. The average is between $1,500 and $1,600. And everybody puts in 75 volunteer hours, either working on their own house or volunteering out in the community. Habitat says they do about 100 houses a year, and that the cost of fixing up 5 existing homes, that's about the same as building 1 new house. Amy?
Thanks so much.
I feel that I should live independently as long as I possibly can. It enables me to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yep, in their golden years, these seniors are all still living on their own, not in a retirement home or a nursing home, but in their own home sweet home.
We're fortunate in that we're healthy. We can still be at home.
Well, it gives me more independence, and also I'm with neighbors who are close by.
Our hope is that as long as we are able, we will stay in our home. We have children in town too, which makes a big difference.
And this big lunch, plus these classes offered here by Shepherd Center of Charlotte, well, that's their way of keeping in touch.
Join hands, circle left,
and staying active.
From number 1 up at the top of that first page.
Learning new stuff and relearning old stuff.
Most of them are women, and most of them are widows, and most of them live alone. And so they really want the fraternity, the getting to know people, the opportunity to meet with friends.
Wayne Felton came out of retirement to lead the Shepherd Center Senior Program.
Hello. Good to see you. How are you?
So he knows what these fellow seniors are going through.
You expect in retirement that you'll just be able to sit on the back porch, and so they really don't have that social network that they did.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for always supporting us.
So you're giving them an opportunity simply to have what they've always had that they don't have anymore.
That's right. Yeah. To build new friendships. Those small things are real challenges. If you don't drive any longer, that's a real challenge.
In fact, Wayne Felton's own retirement has challenges too.
My wife has Parkinson's.
Hold on, Clara, hold on.
What do the next 5 years look like for you?
Don't have a clue.
Come here, honey. Okay.
I always kind of had looked at the golden years as being the perfect stage of life. I'm sorry, I forgot my key.
But the Feltons are finding, like a lot of other independent seniors, that when your health changes, your plans to live at home can also change.
It is a big part, and it's totally unexpected. People have different symptoms. Mine are that I have these tremors, and I fall. I've had some terrible, terrible falls, and so I try not to ever go on stairs if possible. I like being independent, and I can't do that anymore.
Is this a house that you can stay in going forward?
We hope so. As Carolyn said, she only stays on the first floor. At some point, we may need to put a ramp in. Otherwise, I think it is. I mean, it's close to a grocery store, it's close to doctor's offices, the hospital, the emergency room is just, a mile away. So all of that is very good. If we were living in a assisted facility or something like that, we wouldn't have that much room. So positives and negatives.
And if you're a senior couple living at home, well, you also have to think about someday maybe living alone.
The Parkinson's is not going to go away. So it would be much, much, much more difficult if I were to die first, because Carolyn would need somebody around her.
And all of a sudden it's reality that I might not die first. And that really is a frightening thought to me.
Whatever the future holds, we don't know.
You need to be flexible. Don't plan anything definitively because it may or may not happen. And so be prepared to change course.
That's the same advice Wayne Felton offers the seniors in the Shepherd Center Monday lunch group.
I think because every individual, as they age, encounter different things. Some are blessed with good health until they're 95. Courses change as you get older.
The same advice that many of the still active, still connected, still independent seniors in their golden years are already following.
Oh yeah, I can see that something might happen, that you would need the assistance that's available in retirement homes. We're not to that point yet.
And the main thing is getting to know new people and getting acquainted with them.
My health is excellent. I can drive. I've got transportation. I've got people I can call on if I need them. So I personally would like to be carried out feet first from my condo, but if they can't do that, then I'll end up going somewhere else.
By the way, the Shepherd Center's been offering these kinds of activities and learning programs and fellowship to independent seniors here in Charlotte for almost 40 years. Now, the church provides the space for free, but the Shepherd Center also offers advice on things like navigating Medicare or picking the right drug program, even help for your taxes. It's the kind of advice that independent seniors can really use to help stay independent.
Living longer isn't always the same as living better, but it can be. Carolina Impact's Jeff Sonier introduces us to some people proving it's possible. Jeff?
Yeah, we're at the Aldersgate Retirement Center here in Charlotte, where they're finding out that dwelling on the past isn't necessarily a bad thing. Not when those memories, those years of experience from years ago, can also benefit so many other people today.
You're in.
At every retirement home,
Put your other ball somewhere in here.
there are life lessons
Good shot, good shot.
we can all learn.
We have retired professors, clergymen, medical people. We might be old, but we're not doddering, you know. So.
Life stories we can all share.
The thing about it is we're dying out, and there's not going to be anybody left to tell those stories.
Sometimes all we have to do is just ask and then listen.
All day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the Riveter.
We took damaged planes that they brought in at Mars Field here in Charlotte, and we would go out and take that piece of metal off of the fuselage, and then we would rivet that. It would take two people, one to use the rivet gun and one to buck the rivets.
Dot Horn's been telling that story about her work experience during World War II to family and friends for years. And now, at age 96,
getting on up there, I tell everybody I'm old as dirt.
Dot's retelling her story, this time to an audience on a stage.
I was one of the Rosie the Riveters. Many a day I'd fill my mouth full of rivets. I'd do one, they'd buck the rivet, I'd do another. I was just spitting rivets.
Dot and the 6 others on stage are all part of a storytelling project called Acting Our Age. All seniors, all living here at Aldersgate, all meeting once a week to write down what they remember from their past. It's sort of a group diary, a collection of stories that they read back to audiences as a living history lesson.
And we took blueprint and theory and math, and then in the afternoon we worked with the drills and the rivet guns. It was the time that everybody pulled together, worked together for America, for the war effort. But you didn't hear people complain about it because it was something we knew we had to do.
Other stories recall a time we weren't so together.
200,000 people converge on the nation's capital to rally for civil rights.
I have to move from the back of the room to the front line. I'm going to take up your challenge to go to the March on Washington.
This has been one of the great days of America, and I think this march will go down.
And then there are the personal stories, group members talking about the moments in their lives that changed their lives.
When I was 70 years old, I found out that I was adopted.
There's some pathos in our stories, there's some humor in them, there's some hard knocks that are in there.
You'd think after 30 years of hard knocks in the business world,
industrial engineering, human resources, operations management.
George Moffitt would be ready to take it easy.
there's a caliper that goes on.
But when he's not teaching neighbors the finer points of bocce, George is also using his work experience to mentor younger workers.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Here at the retirement center, the housekeeping crew and kitchen staffers he sees at Aldersgate every day.
But I think there were 10 people finally who graduated from our group. I believe every one of them has gotten a better job within Aldersgate, or in a couple cases outside of Aldersgate, because of the training.
How you doing, Mr. Marquez? I'm all right.
Quay Houston met for 10 weeks with George while working his normal shift here at Aldersgate, sometimes over coffee in the cafeteria.
Quay had no computer skills at all, and I saw it, but he had a lot of love for baseball.
He used to make me put RBIs, home runs, batting average, and everything. He used to put it in a spreadsheet where I would understand.
And I saw an opportunity to use baseball statistics in such a fashion that he could learn something about making a spreadsheet.
And after a couple of weeks, I started getting it.
Quay came out of his shell, and we found out that he was an insightful young man, had good ideas, wasn't afraid to share them by the end of the program.
That's the wisdom that's passed on from generation to generation.
Gerontologist Dr. Lyndall Hare oversees both the mentoring program here at Aldersgate and the Onstage Acting Our Age project, which is now being made into a documentary, capturing the stories that slip away in so many other retirement communities.
I mean, we all know that when we work with elders, there are lots of stories. And my hunch is that in every retirement community in this country, you know, there are the equivalent astounding stories.
Thank the Lord that I can still remember to be able to tell them. And it was literally a part of my life that I lived that I would never forget.
Yeah, I love hearing Dot's story. Love hearing all the stories here at Aldersgate. They're the kinds of stories that never really get old, but also might never get told unless you ask someone who is getting old, you know, to tell their story. Amy?
Thanks so much, Jeff. We've made a commitment here on Carolina Impact to explore more issues that help us all live our best life.